Hello there, and welcome to the Outstanding Film Podcast, where we talk film, TV, games, and all that jazz like there's no tomorrow. This week, we're talking about Top Gun Maverick. My name is Tom, and as always, I'm joined with my co-host, John.
Hello there.
General Kenobi. I see what this is.
I'm gonna use that now. I think I'm gonna use that.
Not bad, not bad. I wish that we could talk about Kenobi this week, but we got to wait until it's over.
Yeah, we can't wait to talk about it. I know everybody's like, "Can you please talk about it?" Like, well, when it's over, when's it all over? So,
Eventually, we'll get there. But
eventually,
let's talk. Let's talk Top Gun, shall we?
Top Gun.
I want to kind of start just by saying, like, what are your brief thoughts on the original film?
Oh, the original film. Okay, so
the cast your mind back, John.
Oh my god, back in the 80s was when I was born. Yeah, the first film is really interesting because it was like this cultural phenomenon that everybody was talking about. Top Gun. I think when my dad was talking about it, I wouldn't shut up everything about it, but you can see like the cultural references throughout cinema. Like you got people saying "Talk to me, Goose," or there's one bit in Archer singing "Danger Zone," and you got people quoting everything about it. It's a massive film, but then when you watch the film, like today, it's a really fun film to explore the military life of Top Gun. I don't know, but like just like people just flying jets and then just like the danger zone.
It's definitely like Tom Cruise at the height of his popularity first time round. I mean, I would argue that we're getting a Tom Cruise renaissance, what with Mission Impossible and Edge of Tomorrow, and even Top Gun Maverick. I feel like, we are definitely getting this new array of films from him, but I feel like Top Gun was one of those kind of original ones that really made him famous. And I was very the first film to me is like, it's fine. I don't really have any strong opinions on it. I'm not like the biggest fan in the world, but obviously this film, Top Gun Maverick, I might even think that it's better than the original. I genuinely think that this film does a lot of really interesting things and elevates what they did in the original. I mean, it's definitely a film that's made for the fans. It's made for the people who grew up with Top Gun. If you're a man in your 40s or 50s or beyond that, you're gonna love this film. We're young men. We're not exactly the demographic, I wouldn't say, but other people, like, this is like for them. I have so many friends and like friends' parents who will not shut up about this film and are so unbelievably excited. And I feel like for them, this film is probably going to be such a smash hit. Like, they're going to love it. So yeah, what did you think of Maverick?
Maverick, yeah, I agree. Like, it's a far better film, so much better. Like, there was more of a storyline. I mean, Top Gun had a storyline, but it was a bit focused on Tom Cruise, just like being this sassy, crazy guy being in Top Gun. But then
he's a maverick.
He's a maverick. Oh my god. But there was one bit that I really liked in the first film was Goose. Goose was just like a really good character in the film. And then spoilers. Oh yeah, spoilers. We didn't say spoilers, Tom. We didn't say spoilers.
I'm sorry. Spoilers.
Spoilers if you just, haven't watched Top Gun. Just don't type in the comments like, you guys didn't say spoilers. Oh, down. Thumbs down. I'm subscribed.
You know what? At this point, people should be expecting us to spoil things. We never hold back.
No. But anyway, spoilers. Goose dies, and that was a really painful moment in the film. The second one, Maverick, was like a film that reflects the first film, but on a more emotional scale. Like when Maverick sees Rooster play the song, don't know what's the name, but
Great Balls of Fire.
Yes, that's it. Playing the song and just brings back a lot of memories when Goose was playing that. And I thought that's a really good callback because usually characters who die don't really get to reflect in the second film. But it's pretty emotional. I really like they did that. So yeah.
Yeah, the relationship between Maverick and Goose and Goose's death it's all over this film. Especially, I agree, that scene where Reese is playing the piano and Maverick, he has these flashbacks, is a really, really powerful scene. I thought that was really successful in creating this inner turmoil, where he's made this promise to Rooster's mum before she passed. And, he wants to be in Rooster's life, but at the same time, I feel like, he doesn't want to have the repeat of Goose's death, which he still feels guilt for. And I really enjoyed that kind of furthering of Maverick's arc. But I have to say, I think that Rooster himself is probably the more interesting character. I think I kind of would have preferred it if this film. Now, this is going to be ridiculous, me saying this, because there's no way that they would make a Top Gun sequel without Tom Cruise front and center being the main character. But I think I would have preferred it if Rooster was the main character. And no, I'm not saying they should have called it Top Gun Rooster. That would have been hilarious. But I feel like his character is the one who, all the best scenes in the film are Rooster scenes, I would argue. And I feel like Miles Teller did a great job. Like the similarities between Rooster and Goose, even down to the names. I feel like his character to me was the most like surprisingly interesting part of this film.
Yeah, that's a really big surprise. Like in the trailers, he wasn't much of a huge character because, it's like, oh, he's the son of Goose. There's going to be like some conflict. But no, it was really surprising throughout the scenes where they talked about like the dad or what was he like. And then there was a bit of time where they bonded, like fixing the plane. I thought that was pretty awesome at the end. Oh, yeah. And then like they flew that really old F-12. I think it's an F-12. They flew at the end when they're working together when they crashed. And yeah, I thought that was a really good way to show their relationship. Yeah, really surprising character throughout the film. I agree that he should have been more focused on like how he dealt with growing without a father, and then Maverick kind of like putting in the role of the father trying to help Rooster. They're trying to do something, trying to let go of the past.
Absolutely, and I feel like the way that the Maverick pushes Rooster, and indeed everyone on the team that they've assembled, is like really good. I mean, I think one of my favorite scenes was the scene where they're all just playing. I think they're just playing American football on the beach. And not only was it just so similar to stuff from the first film, but it was just nice and it was wholesome. And it was just like just a lot of people kind of bonding, making a team. And there's even a moment where Maverick says to, I think it's John Hamm's character, and he says, well, you wanted me to make you a team. Well, here's your team. I thought that there were some really nice moments outside of the fighter jet stuff that I thought was really powerful. And, arguably some of the best scenes of the film, are the ones that are on land and aren't necessarily, the ones in the air. But I have to say, this film is shot so well. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like so much of this is the actors like genuinely like in the planes themselves. I think it actually might all be like them without any CGI, like just flying around. Like I think the explosions and stuff, like the missiles and all that, I think that's the CG part. But other than that, these guys are actually flying around. They had like flight training and all this stuff. And it looks amazing. The way that Joseph Kosinski, the director, put like the camera like on like the wings or even on the cockpit, it felt so visceral, so real. I mean, I didn't see it on the biggest screen, but I can imagine, you see this in IMAX, you'd be having an incredible time.
Yeah, and the way, it's incredible, like how they shot inside the planes. Like you saw it's going to be CGI, but if you watch this in the cinema, like I watched it in super screen because I thought I wanted to get like the experience of like
brilliant.
The sound. Like if you want to go there for the sound and cinematography, do that. That is really cool if you want to get like the glimpse of it. Like when I saw Dune, the whole cinema was like shaking, like the super screen. But like in here with Top Gun, it was really cool. And the cinematography, I'm just like so impressed, like how they filmed inside it. And it's weird, isn't it? Like, you can't tell if it's CGI or not, but it's not CGI, but like they just fly around. It just looks so cool. Like it's real, like in the first Top Gun, is it in the 90s, 80s, 80s, like
80s, yeah,
80s, yeah. Like they haven't got a lot of special effects, what I mean. But here they actually filmed it, on the thing.
Yeah, it's such a bold choice. Technology has, as you just said, like evolved so much since the 80s. They probably could have done it all on green screens and it probably also would have looked great. But I appreciate so much that they did a lot of this in camera. And it's funny that you bring up Dune because we are being treated in terms of like blockbusters that are genuinely actually like okay, so we're so used to the Marvel formula where everything's shot on green screen and so much of it just in terms of the filmmaking is pretty lazy, but we've been treated recently. We've got Top Gun Maverick, we've got No Time to Die, Dune, The Batman, all these films that are so incredibly made with such thought put together with so much practical effects and the cinematography and sound design and all these elements come together to make something, amazing. Even if the films themselves, even if you don't like the films, you have to agree that the way that they're put together are amazing and really do show that cinema and modern blockbusters can survive and don't all have to be what the MCU is showing us, which, you know, has its place, but also, like, you know, for people like us who are critical of that, who want to see, you know, these blockbusters that are made with this heart and forgo all this CG stuff. I think that I think that it's so good that we're still getting these. And, you know, I'm so glad that Tom Cruise didn't put this out onto streaming. I'm really happy that he waited, because, like, imagine watching this at home. It wouldn't be the same. You'd have to watch it on at least a projector to get the right experience. And I feel like we're so lucky to have seen all of these films, you know, like Dune, like The Batman, No Time to Die, Top Gun Maverick, at the cinema on the big screen. It's so good.
Yeah, you just want to get like the full experience of, like, you know, the F-14 or I don't know what the plane's names, but yeah, just like to get like a really cool view. I mean, it's a cool view at the cinema, of course, but, you know, just to see that, it's really cool. So do that if you're watching that streaming services. I mean, what are you doing?
There is only really one way to watch this film, and it's at the cinema. It's upsetting that Tenet didn't get, you know, like, if Tenet, I reckon if Tenet came out now, when people are going back to the cinema instead of straight away from the pandemic, I reckon that, you know, people would, you know, loads of people would have seen it, and people would have been much more like receptive to it. Whereas, you know, it didn't. I feel like it didn't really get its dues. Watch Tenet, everyone, if you haven't already, and rewatch it if you've already seen it.
Yeah, Tenet, it's a great film. Like,
So
it gets
good.
better every time you watch it, every time. Like,
Absolutely.
it's a really strange film. You know, you just watch it the first time, you're like, what does this mean? And then the second time, what? It makes sense now. Like, if you have subtitles, please have subtitles. You don't know what's going on in that film. You just like, oh, it's a whole new story now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can listen to our revisited Tenet episode, which we did last August or something. So yeah, like, if you've watched it and you want to revisit it. But anyway, we're talking about Top Gun. This isn't.
Oh yeah,
this is,
Top Gun. Yeah, the
score.
score.
About Top Gun. The score.
Yeah, the score. I just wanted to talk about the score because, you know, it just came up randomly in my head. Like, you know, at the opening, you know, like at the beginning, it was like a really cool opening of like the first film.
Yeah, I mean, they used themes from the original, but they used it sparingly. Like, there was quite a bit of restraint that they didn't use Take My Breath Away and some of the songs that have become so iconic from the first film. And I'm really happy that they didn't, because, you know, like, I feel like it shouldn't all be, you know, nostalgia. And so much of this film, as I said, it is made for the people who love the first one, and it does trade on nostalgia, but not in the way that something like Jurassic World or Force Awakens or Rogue One or some of the more insufferable examples of it does. I think this film uses the nostalgia from the original really well, and sparingly, to the point where I reckon, as somebody who's only seen the original once, I didn't rewatch the original before this film. I don't think you even need to see the original. I feel like you get the exact same amount of enjoyment. You know, I feel like they fill in enough gaps for you on your own. And I feel like the beauty of the film is that, like, you can get different levels of enjoyment out of it. I mean, I hated the trailer for this film, and I was so sure that it was going to be, you know, just like, oh, look at how good Maverick is, and like, oh, you remember this and you remember this, just like what I hated about Ghostbusters Afterlife, for example. You can check out a video on that we did, but it wasn't like that. It was a lot more layered than that, and there were moments of kind of like, look how cool this is, and hey, you remember Top Gun, but it was fleeting. And I feel like a lot of these moments, like when they all play Great Balls of Fire, it had a reason to be there. It wasn't just there because, hey, they did that in the original. It was literally there to have a character moment with Maverick, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah. Oh, there was other detail that I really liked in the opening credits of like the first Top Gun and the second one. You know, like, they got a bunch of words talking about like what they do in the military. It said only men in the militaries in the first one, and then you got men and women in the second one. So I thought that was a good detail to show that, you know, times have changed. And
absolutely, yeah. I mean, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the new crew. Obviously, we talked about Rooster, but we've got quite a couple of others. I don't remember a single name other than Hangman.
I do.
Okay, go on. Give me some.
Hangman, Phoenix,
yep.
Bob.
Nice. Bob was the best.
Bob. Oh, the Bob. Oh, okay. Actually, there's one bit of like,
I was convinced that if anyone was gonna die, because in the trailer it shows Iceman's funeral. We'll talk about Iceman.
You thought
But
Bob was gonna die.
I thought Bob was gonna die. I thought they were setting it up for Bob
you-
to die.
You sad person. You thought Bob was gonna die. You listen. Bob was the true
Yes, I
hero
did.
here. Listen. It could be called Top Gun Bob. Listen, that could be a great film. You know, like
Yes.
Bob's just like, hey guys, I'm Bob. Really? That's your call sign? Yeah, Bob. He just flies in F-14.
He owned it. He bloody owned it, mate. Oh my god, we need that. Top Gun 3, Top Gun Bob. I won't take anything
Top
else.
Gun Bob. Actually, that
I will take.
really good.
We need it.
Top Gun Bob.
We need it.
Oh my god, what would he do though? Like Bob,
He would save the day. So like he's one of the like. Okay, so there are kind of two classes of fighter. One of them is just one pilot. So that's what Rooster flies. That's what Maverick flies. And then there are others like Phoenix and Bob who have like one person, Phoenix, flying, and then the co-pilot, which is Bob in this case, just like in the first film. And they kind of like have to like set the targeting. And you tell you what, if Bob wasn't there, they wouldn't have blown up the thing.
Bob saved the day, man.
Bob saved the bloody day.
Bob. Oh my god. Imagine this plot twist. His name wasn't Bob. It was Bob. It's just his call sign just was Bob, and then he had like a new entire name, just like something else. It wasn't Bob, it was like Robert or
It wasn't Bob, it was Robert.
Robert, but Bob also that. Oh my god.
Amazing. I mean, like I did like this new kind of crew. I mean, everyone's been saying it online, but Glen Powell as Hangman is so wonderfully hateable, you know?
Yes.
Like, oh my god, he was so good in his role because, you know, like he was just the least likable dude. But also, like, you kind of see at the end, he has that kind of heart. And he is at the end of the day on the good guy's side. I would have liked more of a redemption for him, because I don't feel like when he came in at the end, I wasn't exactly like. I mean, first of all, this film was incredibly predictable. I don't think there was a single beat that I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's interesting. I didn't expect that.
Maverick died.
Yeah, no, there was no way. When they did that whole like fake out death, I was like, no, absolutely not. Get lost. That is not gonna happen.
Me and Tom know.
We
like been through this. What was it? Space
Mission Impossible.
Jam, the sequel. Yeah, Space Jam. When Bugs Bunny faked his
Oh.
death.
I thought you were gonna mention Mission Impossible Fallout when they did the whole like the bomb at the end. But like, yeah. I mean, I think I just don't. I can't see a film.
I just don't know why I referenced that.
It's fine, John.
Just carry on.
We know that's your favorite film of all time. Don't worry about it. No judgment
oh my god,
from
Tom,
me.
how did you know? Oh my god.
You guys can watch our Space Jam episode if you want.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole setup to like Tom Cruise is about to die. You know, like they were like saying, "Oh, might be the last time we see each other," or something. Like, oh wow, they're gonna do emotional something like that. But no, they're not gonna kill Tom Cruise. We've been through this, so
yeah. How many times they're not gonna kill Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise is gonna live forever. He's gonna go into space. He's gonna discover the secret to eternity, give it to the Scientology people, and then he will become the Overlord. There it is. You heard it here first, folks.
Oh god.
No, I mean, I just don't see a film, especially now with Tom Cruise, that arguably as famous as he's ever been. I can't see a film killing Tom Cruise. Are you kidding me? Like, as much as I'm, for example,
Name one.
Well, for example, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 looks amazing. We all know that looks amazing. I just don't know if he'll die. That feels like the logical way to continue Mission Impossible. Kill Ethan Hunt, but I don't feel like they would ever kill him. You know, any Tom Cruise character. But anyway, I did feel like this film was incredibly predictable, and I maybe would have liked it to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. But, you know, like when Maverick and Rooster were flying back at the end and Hangman saved them, I was just like, yeah, most predictable thing ever. Like, it was just, you know, like the similar kind of thing we had with Iceman in the first film. Yeah, I would have liked a little bit, you know, more spontaneity.
They could have done something that's a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more changing to the story. I mean, like, it could have been like Empire Strikes Back, you know. I don't know. Just
wait, what are you imagining? Bob, I am your father.
That would be funny though. I mean, I don't know, something fitting for Top Gun Maverick. I mean, Bob. Imagine Bob was like the mastermind or something, just like this entire time.
It was me, Maverick, the whole
It was
time.
me.
They do the similar thing they do in the original film where they don't really go against anybody. It's not like they're going against like Russia or something. It's just like the enemy, you know. And I feel like it's good that these films don't get bogged down in trying to do a villain and having the villain not have much screen time, because how do you really fit a villain into this? You know, I thought that was really cool. But let's talk about Iceman. Let's talk about Val Kilmer. I thought the way that they did Val Kilmer was amazing, you know, recognizing, you know, his real life struggles and, you know, not just writing him out. Like when Maverick was texting him, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Is that what they're going to do? They're literally just going to have him text him. But no, they had a scene and it was a really beautiful scene. And you know what? Val Kilmer is a treasure. Like he's great in the first Top Gun. He's great in Heat. He's great even in Batman Forever. You know, like the guy is so wonderful, and it was so heartwarming to get that scene, and it was emotional as well when he died and we had the funeral. Like I appreciated just the way that he was worked into the plot, you know, to further Maverick's story and, you know, to give a lot more weight to the ending of the first film. I thought it was great. Good, well done. Good scene.
Yeah, I really like that. And the most impressive thing was it was reflecting on the real life thing that what happened with Val Kilmer, like with throat cancer. And the way that they had to do the scene was they had to use an AI voice to help Val Kilmer, like to show that he's speaking.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So I thought, oh wow, that's really impressive. So they had to use like an AI voice because his throat cancer was worse, I think, but he's a survivor right now. So I think
he
gone.
really is. Yeah, like what an absolute trooper. What a guy. It was great to see him in this film. And Jennifer Connelly is also here.
Oh, Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, she plays Penny. And
Penny.
No.
I'm sorry.
We're not doing Big Bang Theory here. We're doing Top Gun.
I'm sorry. It just came to my mind. Just like the funny.
God damn it.
The funny. I'm sorry. Carry on. I'll just be quiet and shame.
I want to say about her character. I definitely felt like she was like having a whole relationship with Maverick. There was an amazing scene where they talk, you know, when they're in bed together and they talk about like what he should do, and then they, you know, like when he kind of like jumps out of the window. That was all very fun and, you know, really emotional. But I have to say, I did feel like her character was just kind of shoehorned in there. I don't feel like she was necessary for Maverick to, like, for me, the emotional core is Maverick, you know, being able to teach a new generation and, you know, reconciling with Rooster. I don't feel like we need him to have a relationship. It already felt a bit weird that the relationship from the first film ended off screen. It was just odd, and I just don't really feel like we needed it.
Yeah, it was a bit strange. One shot that I really liked, I was saying it to you, was like this shot. I thought that was pretty good because it was like a really cool callback.
Oh yeah, that was nice. That was quite sweet. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than Tom Cruise on a motorbike. What I did like is the whole like the opening with him
Mach 10.
When he's going Mach 10. I mean, like the story relevance of it, I felt like it, you know, there wasn't a lot of relevance in terms of the story. I felt like it was just an excuse for Tom Cruise to be like, I want to fly in the most kind of like high-tech thing.
I want to be fast.
I want to bloody go fast. I mean, he just basically, here's what happened, okay? Tom Cruise watched Sonic and he was like, damn, I wish I could be that fast. And then Joseph Kosinski was like, Tom, you can go that fast. And he was like, what? And then that's how it happened. Actually, did you hear the news? Tom Cruise is going to be playing Shadow in Sonic 3.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And that would be incredible. I would genuinely.
That would be like, incredible. Just like
I would pay Tom Cruise my own money to. I do not have enough money for him, but like for him to play Shadow, that would be so good.
I mean, what Shadow's personality? I forgot his personality. I thought, what was he like? Was he like really dark? And
yeah, I think it was dark. Like he was, you know, dark and kind of like mysterious, edgy.
I mean, Tom Cruise did play a mysterious, edgy character in Collateral, which he did really well. Like it was a really different role. So I recommend you watch Collateral. Really good film if you want to watch something that's totally different from Tom Cruise. So
Oh man, I love when Tom Cruise plays against type, like in Edge of Tomorrow. Like he just plays like an idiot. The whole time he plays like a coward who has to kind of learn to. Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like it's great. I really love that film as well.
yeah.
But yeah, we're actually running out of time on the Zoom call here, so let's wrap it up. Top Gun. What are you gonna give Top Gun Maverick out of 10?
Tom Cruise out of 10.
Tom Cruise out of 10. Woo!
Woo! No, seriously, 8 out of 10. Really good film. I thought it was great.
I agree. 8 out of 10. Absolutely wonderful. It feels good to have another one of those lovely blockbusters. And it's good that we've got this to keep us going, because next week, everyone, it's Thor: The Dark World. Whew. What is widely considered one of the worst, or if not the worst, MCU movie. We're continuing our Thor films. So that's going to be very, very interesting. But if you do this episode, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. As I said, we're doing Thor next week, and we're going to be doing all the Thor. We got to do it, John. It has to happen. Okay, and we're going to be working through all the Thor films. We've already done the first one. We'll be doing Ragnarok and Love and Thunder. We're going to be doing Jurassic World Dominion. We're going to be doing Kenobi. We've got loads of stuff coming, so stay tuned if you want to see all that, because why wouldn't you? It's top-notch content. And if you want to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, you can at House Time Film Pod, and send us an email with your thoughts on Top Gun, any questions on anything, or just genuine thoughts, and we'll answer them right here on the podcast if you email us ousetimefilmpod@gmail.com. And I think that's everything. Also, Star Wars Celebration, how cool was that? Yeah, Bad Batch trailer, and very nice, very exciting,
very
stuff
nice
happening.
Very nice.
Very nice
Jedi
indeed.
Fallen Order 2. Nice.
Jedi Survivor. So exciting. All things we'll cover on the pod, don't you worry.
Yes, be safe, be good. We enjoyed Tom Cruise again.
Hell yeah.
Tom Cruise.
We'll see you in a year for Dead Reckoning Part 1, Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna be winning again and again. Yeah, he ran again in this film. Tom Cruise. Yeah, he was running towards Rooster in the forest.
Oh yes, I remember that, and I was like, oh yep, tick. Tom Cruise did a run. Well done,
Tom Cruise.
Well done.
But yeah, we enjoyed this. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like, take what you're given.
Give nothing back.
Goodbye.